are you doing?
Can I ask you what you're doing, please, sir?
Oh, Inspector, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Can you identify yourself, please,
Inspector
sir?
Come over here,
Inspector
please.
Dice.
Can I ask you what you're doing, sir?
Taking a picture of these.
Right, why are you doing that?
Because I'm going to report them to professional standards and the council.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, look, absolutely disgusting. I've witnessed so many people having to walk onto the road and
Just let you know, I am recording at the moment.
Thanks for telling me, Inspector.
Okay.
I'm going to go
as a matter of courtesy, just let you know. Obviously, I don't know who you are.
Oh, yeah.
You've got a mask on. That could obviously be some reason for you hiding your identity. I don't know.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got a camera going as well that I can see. And you're taking photos of police station, police buildings. So I would ask you to desist on doing that, okay?
Really?
If you want to take photographs of police vehicles, that's fine. That's up to yourself.
What offence is it, please, if you don't mind me asking?
If you want to look it up, I don't know the full legislation, so I won't want to mislead you, but there is an offence of taking photographs within or of a public building. Like you can't do it of a court or within a court building. It's the same guys, the same legislation.
His approach from the very start shows a clear lack of professionalism and a complete misunderstanding of the law, telling the auditor to stop taking photos of police stations and police buildings without any legal basis. Is pure overreach. Photography in public places is perfectly lawful, even when it involves police property, as long as it's not being used for criminal purposes. Something the inspector made no attempt to even suggest. What makes it worse is when the auditor rightly challenges him by asking, "What offense is it?" And the inspector openly admits, "I don't know, you could look it up if you want to." That's not just embarrassing, it's dangerous if an officer is prepared to restrict someone's rights. They better know exactly what law they're enforcing. Guess has no place in policing.
Forward details to professional standards. You can go direct them. It's up to yourself. Okay?
To be honest, Inspector, and I mean this with the utmost respect, I'm flabbergasted that you seem to think it's an offence, or there is an offence, to film public buildings, but you can't tell me what it is. I'm flabbergasted.
Why?
Well, the man of your experience, you look like you've been at job for a long time. You're an inspector.
You're obviously going to try and get a bite out, mate, and you've got to
try to get a bite out. Yeah.
What I'll say to you is there is a lot of legislation out there, okay?
Which I know.
You tell me what that legislation is.
Well, I don't need to tell you. You're an inspector, mate.
I've told you there's legislation that prevents people from taking photographs of public buildings.
Right.
Okay? I cannot quote the actual script here of the legislation, but I can tell you it's in place.
Instead of admitting he has no grounds, he tries to bluff his way through by saying, "I know there's legislation out there that prevents people from taking photographs of public buildings," but immediately admits he can't quote it. That alone tells you everything you need to know about the quality of policing on display. In the UK, there is no general law that prevents people from photographing public buildings, including police stations, unless there's a specific terrorism-related concern, and even then powers like Section 43 of the Terrorism Act 2000 require reasonable suspicion, not vague guesses. The public has every right to film or take photos. If an officer claims a law exists but can't name it, can't quote it, and can't even explain the basics, it's not policing, it's bluffing to shut down lawful activity.
Because I know what it is.
Well, you tell me then.
Stop talking about it.
Right, okay. What I say to you now is you are now getting to a level where you are now becoming a little bit obstructive and offensive.
Well,
okay. And I would ask you to leave the area. I've come up to you to ask you why you're taking photographs of a public building and police vehicles, okay? I've explained myself to you. I've told you I am. Can I ask who you are?
He's laughing at you.
Can I ask who you are?
Who are you? Identify yourself.
Can I ask who you are, please, first?
You don't have to indict.
Can I ask who you are, please?
So you've got an inspector here, and you're telling me you do not have to identify yourself?
Right. At the moment, I'm getting concerned more about your behaviour.
WK9N. So, Whiskey Kilo 9 November. He's the dog handler at Huddersfield Police Station.
Can I see your details, please?
Under the College of Policing's Code of Ethics, officers are required to identify themselves when asked, especially during an interaction with the public. They should at minimum provide their name and badge number, and if in uniform, they are supposed to make their identity clear without hesitation. Refusing to do so strips away transparency and suggests the officer knows the interaction isn't being handled properly. Instead of the officer doing his duty, the auditor was forced to walk closer and read his name and caller number himself. That shouldn't happen, An officer should never put a member of the public in a position where they have to extract basic information themselves. It shows the officer either didn't want to be held accountable or didn't care about following the professional standards he's meant to uphold.
PC Huntington. You'll be got a professional standard, sir.
Can I see your details, please?
No, you can't.
Right, okay. What I'm saying to you now is that you are also causing a bit of a problem here now, aren't you? We've asked you to leave, okay?
I'm on a public footpath.
I know you are. And you're obviously one of these people that wants to come round
No.
and try and wind police officers up.
I'm just doing something other people don't have the balls to do, which is take pictures of police cars parked in just an absurd place. I mean, come on, who the hell is parked there?
Right.
Double yellow lines and double blips. Do you know what that means?
Right. If you want to take that further, regarding professional standards, please do so. What I've asked you to do now is actually move on yourself.
You've got professional standards as well.
Fine.
And so is this guy here.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
At least you told me you recorded, and it's nice to see you don't have a gang badge on. You've got a gang badge on, so don't even look at me. I don't want to speak to you. Get rid of that. Get yourself on eBay and get yourself one of these. $2.99 and wear it with pride. The Union Jack flag. Yeah, take that crap off. Get a Union Jack.
I am starting to believe that you are now committing a racist incident. If you carry on a racist incident, yeah.
I'm a British citizen.
I perceive this to be a racist matter now. Okay, I would ask you to leave the area. I would ask you to leave the area. Okay, because you just offended me and my colleagues by saying that badges that we wear are offensive. I find that offensive, and I believe that to be a racist behaviour. Please leave the area now. Okay,
I am wearing a
Please leave the area now.
Auditor calls out the thin blue line, badge calling it a gang badge and suggesting the officer should wear the Union Jack. Instead, he's expressing a lawful opinion, not anything remotely racist. Yet the inspector wildly escalates, claiming the auditor is now committing a racist incident. Under UK law, a racist incident is based on perception, but perception must still have context. And reasonless criticizing a controversial police symbol has nothing to do with race. The auditor was challenging what the badge represents, not making any comment about race, ethnicity, or nationality to label that as racism is not only wrong, it's a dangerous abuse of serious protections meant for real discrimination cases. The inspector wasn't protecting anyone, he was weaponizing the accusation of racism to shut down lawful criticism. It was a clear attempt to criminalize free speech and cover up the fact that they had no lawful grounds to act against the auditor in the first place.
You're saying that things that we wear we shouldn't be wearing. I find that offensive, and I find that hating.
I'll tell you what I find offensive.
I want you to leave the area now, please.
20 years ago,
I want you to leave the area.
Police officers were told they wasn't allowed to wear the Union Jack.
I want you to leave the area now, please.
Because it wasn't part of the uniform.
I want you to leave the area.
Why are you wearing gang badges? What makes it part of the uniform?
I want you to leave the area now.
No.
Okay.
I'm on a public highway. I am on a public footpath being obstructed by 2 police vehicles. They're obstructing the path. I've got proof and evidence and somebody else recorded.
Can I take your details, please? Because I believe you may be committing offences now.
Committing an offence? Committing an offence?
Yeah, obstructing the highway.
No, these are obstructing the highway.
Offences in relation to...
Your police van's obstructing the highway.
Yeah, that is allowed to do because I'm dealing with an incident that's protecting me.
There's no incident to deal with. You came to me, and that's what we're doing.
I came to you because I was concerned about your behaviour, okay?
Inspector,
and I am still concerned with behaviour. Bye-bye.
Don't wish to speak to you anymore.
Good.
Absolute muppet.
I find that offensive as well. That is your first warning regarding public order. If you call me a muppet again, I will arrest you, okay? Public order. Harassment allowed dismissed, okay?
Are you being serious?
No, I am very serious.
You are going to be very, very famous by the end of today, my friend. Very famous.
If you call me a muppet again, I will arrest you for...
Let me get out of the way, because now I'm obstructing the road. I'm going to prove to you now...
Calling me a muppet...
Policing, especially during confrontational moments, officers are expected to tolerate a reasonable level of verbal criticism, or even minor insults, without immediately escalating. That's not just about professionalism. It's recognized in law and police training standards, yet instead of brushing it off, the inspector takes it personally. He immediately warns the auditor that if he says it again, he'll be arrested under Section 5 of the Public Order Act for harassment, alarm, and distress. But calling someone a muppet does not meet the legal threshold for a Section 5 offense for it to qualify the words used. must genuinely cause harassment, alarm, or distress to a reasonable person, not just offend an officer's pride. Officers are expected to have a thicker skin exactly because of the
camera. Right. You're under arrest for harassment, alarm and distress.
That's done no wrong, mate. You're going to be in a lot of trouble. Did you let go of me out, please?
No, you're under arrest.
You're going to be in a lot of trouble.
You're under caution. You don't have to say anything, but in my defence, if you don't have to mention one question, something which will let you line in court.
I'm not struggling.
Come through it.
I'm not struggling. Why are you pushing my arm further up my back?
I told you you're under arrest.
Yeah, I'm under arrest, but I'm not. I'm cooperating. So why the hell are you doing that to me back?
Van keys are in my back pocket if somebody could move it.
You're in a lot of trouble. Don't delete your body cam footage, Inspector, because I'll be making a subject access request. I'll be making a subject access request for your footage.
Take a seat.
Yeah, I'll turn the camera off now.
What's critical here is that the auditor never even repeated the word mop it or escalated his behavior in any way. The inspector didn't wait for any further justification. He simply seized the moment to shut the auditor down, dragging him into a detention room without lawful basis by jumping straight to rest. With no fresh trigger, the inspector exposed exactly what this was about: silencing a critic, not protecting public order. The auditor was right to tell him, "You're in big trouble," because at that point the inspector wasn't enforcing the law. He was abusing his power. Every action from that moment forward only deepened the inspector's legal exposure, and the footage captured it.
Am I safe to turn the camera off?
You can do whatever you want.
Am I allowed to record in here?
Yeah.
Right, I'll turn it off.
I'm still recording though.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll be making a subject access request. So please do not delete your footage. And before you ask, I haven't got anything on me what I shouldn't have. Everything you've just done is on my mate's camera. You are in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. They're arresting me for taking pictures.
No.
Right, well, I don't wish to
public
speak to
order.
them until I speak to the solicitor.
Okay. Excuse me, no phone calls in here.
Can I let someone know I'm here?
No.
No, not on this, here.
No, we will do it once you get your rights.
that's
Put
fine.
your phone down.
Yeah, I'm not going to use it.
Right, I'll take possession of them now.
Put it away. I need to put this on. It protects it.
Take your stuff off
You're going to
there.
break your stuff.
Nobody's breaking anything.
Right.
Okay, I've told you.
All I wanted to do was to put them back on.
No,
No.
I've told you. Right, you're in custody, you're under arrest, you've been cautioned.
Right, I'll turn the camera off. Have you ever seen the Muppets, the Christmas special? Are you saying I can't say that word Muppet? Right. Afternoon, gents.
So we haven't got his details yet. I haven't got a pen, but I'll quickly go through the circumstances. Just come over here, Kev.
I'm not going to give me details, mate. I'm not being awkward at all.
Okay, right, go on.
Okay.
This chap here is going to tell me why you're here.
Yeah, of course.
This man has been arrested for Section 5 Public Order harassment, alarm and distress. Basically, I was leaving the building at 25 past the hour when I saw this gentleman crouching down at the side of two police cars which are parked in front of the building on the pavement. I stopped my vehicle to approach him to try and find out what was going on, as we were concerned that it might have been some sort of terrorist type threat. On speaking to him, I've realised he's some sort of videoer, YouTuber, and he's filming the building and the cars. I advised him regarding filming of public building. He said he was filming the obstruction of the vehicles on the path. He's then started becoming abusive to one of my colleagues because of a badge that he was wearing. I've asked him to stop. Advising that I felt it caused myself harassment, alarm and distress. At that point, he's then started obstructing the middle of the highway, and I told him to leave the area, at which point he started calling me a muppet, which I found harassment, alarm and distress. So I've arrested him at that point for that offence, for the prompt and effective investigation of it, to prevent his disappearance and to establish his identity, which I couldn't at that time. Once we establish his ID, etc., we can turn him round. I'm more than happy with that.
Do you understand the allegation?
Yeah, I'm not going to start being awkward. I understand it. Yeah,
Right.
I don't agree with it,
Crime.
but I understand it.
Obviously, you can't go around doing that, and obviously the consequences of what happened and things like that.
Yeah, of course.
And obviously, you've been here around hours, but we obviously need to process you and figure out exactly who you are and all that kind of thing. I can't let you go without knowing who you are, unfortunately.
We'll have to fingerprint you anyway, so if you're on systems, you'd come up anyway, so you might as well tell us now anyway.
Auditor is brought out of the detention room and marched to the front office. The inspector tries to justify his actions, spinning a version of events that simply doesn't match what we've seen unfold on camera. But no matter how he tries to explain it, the facts speak for themselves. This was a disgraceful abuse of power from a man who should have known far better. Key moment after key moment showed just how badly this encounter was handled. It started with the inspector confronting the auditor over perfectly lawful photography without citing any offense. It escalated. When the inspector couldn't name the legislation he claimed existed, it worsened. When an officer refused to identify himself, forcing the auditor to walk up and read his details, then incredibly, it reached new lows when the inspector weaponized the idea of a racist incident, simply because the auditor criticized a thin blue line badge. And when the auditor called the inspector a muppet, a harmless and legally protected insult, the inspector's ego shattered completely. Instead of maintaining professionalism, he used Section 5 of the Public Order Act not to preserve public order, but to crush criticism. The auditor didn't even repeat the comment before the inspector launched into an unjustified arrest, dragging him into detention with no lawful grounds whatsoever. What makes this even more serious is that this wasn't just an ordinary officer. This was a police inspector, someone expected to show leadership, professionalism, and a deep understanding of the law. Instead, he set the worst possible example, acting on emotion, not evidence, and misusing his authority to silence lawful dissent. This episode wasn't just a failure. It was a full-blown collapse of the standards the public should be able to expect, especially from senior officers, and it's yet another reminder why cameras, auditors, and public accountability are absolutely essential. Because when this is what's happening out in the open, imagine what's happening when no one is watching. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me continue with my independent coverage. Also, don't forget to check out Auditing Yorkshire's channel, is linked in the description. Show him some love. Thanks for watching.